Hello everybody, welcome to Hairdryer Treatment. And at the 10th time of asking, England have gone on and won an opening game of the Euros. Is it coming home? No, I don't know after that performance. I've still got questions, but we have done it. We have gone and won an opening game of the Euros. As you can probably see, I am a player down. Sophie's not going to be with us this evening, so it is just me on here. So make sure you're with me tonight. We're going to talk obviously about the England game. We're going to talk about your opinions on it, my opinion of it. I feel like there's a lot of questions that we can get through. We've got to talk about formation, players, the actual whole game itself. On my own. Sophie won't be with us, but we are talking about a win, so I am happy to continue because Sophie did say, "Oh, we don't have to do it." And I was like, "No, we've got a win. I can be positive." But yeah, there's a few in here already that's saying, "Congratulations on 15k. Thank you so much." It's such a big landmark for us and a milestone that we've really tried hard to get towards. We have got another milestone. We've already put it in the group. We are close to 1 million views on here now. So that's kind of where we're at next. We're going to push for that one, as always. Hopefully another 15k soon. Who knows? But yeah. We'll get back onto the England, shall we? I know it's nice to talk about us, but thank you so much for all your support on this. There will be an announcement tomorrow about the channel, so make sure you're watching for tomorrow as well. I will drop that in early doors. But if you are new and you want to join us on the next milestone, then you can hit subscribe if you like this video. You're watching it, so that already counts to a view. So yeah, 1 million views will be coming soon. Fingers crossed, that's the next milestone. So England winning, probably not the formation or the players that anyone predicted, but they did it. Soph's in the chat. There she is. Look. Big up to you, Soph. I'm not going to go into details, but she will be with us this week. But I couldn't not do Euros vision, so we had to be here. Not what I predicted at all, and the players were completely not what I had chosen. What do I know about football? Hey, there we go. Eat my own words about that, won't I? But it was nice to see that the players that did start, who perhaps weren't favourites to be started, actually grasped their opportunity and took it with both hands. And I'm talking about Sterling with the goal and Phillips, because they're probably two players that I didn't really expect. I did say that I thought Bellingham would be in there. Phillips absolutely took his opportunity, grabbed it with two hands, and was a shining light in that performance. And Sterling, man of the moment, grabbed his goal when we needed one. So you can't complain. In hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And if that's what Southgate had planned, he got it right. Phillips, the Yorkshire Polo. I see a lot about this, the Yorkshire Polo online. What he did today, like I said, absolutely took an opportunity for him. Two hands, he took it. Well, 2 feet, didn't he? Really, he played out of his skin today, and I think you want players like that. He did like the dirty work. He got a bit of bite in him. Centre midfielder, did his defensive duties. But I think, and I will get on to Rice as well, because I've seen some comments about him online. But what I want to say is, like, with a player like Rice there, when you've got a Phillips, he can then go and express himself a little bit more. He's got the opportunity to move forward with his runs as well. The build up for it, as I was just saying, the run that he made, and like the confidence that he's got to do that as well. Great assist by Phillips. It was. I just like the whole build up, how he kind of just danced away from a couple of players and fed Sterling, whose movement, by the way, throughout the game, I actually thought was very good. I think he looked like a completely different player. We haven't really seen him. That's the issue with Man City this season towards the end, where he hasn't really been playing. But today showed why he was a true professional. Just picked up his MBE as well. So congratulations to Sterling on his MBE. And then goes and has a performance like that. And I think he'd said on the interview afterwards that if he was going to play at Wembley in a major tournament, he was going to score And there he goes. First goal of the Euros for England goes to Sterling. And I just, like I said, I like the fact that his movement today was sharp. He looked like he wanted to get on the ball. Almost played with like a senior head on him, where he was leading it. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he wanted from players around him. And because we had got quite a few young players in there. And I don't mind the balance, actually. Sterling proved all the haters wrong. He played very well, considering 95% of people, I presume including me, meant that you weren't going to pick him. I don't know. Finish the statement, because I don't know if that means what that means. But I didn't pick him to start. There you go. Sometimes 95% people wanted Grealish. I will move on to Grealish. I'm going to stay positive to start with, because I think, listen, if you can go out and get a win, I think from our toughest competition in this group, I feel Croatia will give us the toughest game, and we didn't even play one of our best players in Grealish, then we can say that we've done pretty well. Would I have liked to have seen him? Yes, obviously. I think everybody, especially at half-time, was saying, why haven't we brought Grealish on? Why is Grealish not playing? And listen, he didn't even end up with any minutes. We were bringing on Rashford as well. And no Grealish at all. Is he saving him for the big games? I don't know. Scotland's going to be a huge game, and not the biggest, like I said, in terms of our competition in the group. I think that was Croatia, but a huge game in terms of what it means to the country as well. There's obviously rivalries, and look, Scotland, they're not that bad of a team, and I think they'll still put a lot of pressure on us. Perhaps we'll see Grealish get 90 minutes in that game. The fact that we can rotate these players and use them in certain games, it's like horses for course, isn't it? There's some games we're going to see Grealish, some games we won't see him. Sometimes we're going to see Trippier at left back. Other times we won't. Sometimes we see Reece James, you've got Kyle Walker, you've got such competition for different places, especially going forward, that I think it's great for England. It's a headache for Gareth Southgate. As an Italy fan, I really hope for Italy versus England in knockout rounds. That'll be a phenomenal game. They played so well, Italy, in the opening game. Was really, really impressed by them. I did say I thought Turkey would do quite well. Bit of an underdog, but Italy blew them out the water. Fantastic from them in the first game on Friday evening, and a real opener to the Euros, wasn't it? Plenty of goals in that game. I keep looking over there because my notes are over there. Anybody's wondering why I'm side-eyeing. I hope Scotland to win tomorrow. I'm pretty confident we can. Jane, like I said, I want Scotland to get out of the group, of course I do. I'm good luck for tomorrow. Not so much good luck for next Friday, but we'll discuss that as we move on during the week. Competition is great for it, and it is. It is so good that we've got all of these players. Bellingham was so good when he came on, and I love the fact that we've brought the youngest players playing in the tournament on the pitch today. Youngest player for England to ever play in a major tournament. Just 17 years old. 17 years old, and not fazed by the occasion at all. Came on, did such a good job. Like I said, I think Phillips was a standout player for us, but Bellingham came on, did his job. No complaints from me about him, and I hope we see more of him during this time in the tournament. Josh, hello Josh. I'm worried if we top the group, we'll end up getting knocked out by the team from the group of death in the round of 16. Going off what we saw today, I'm not going to argue against this. It's difficult. All positive. We won. I think the goal was great. The build-up play. Phillips was a shining star. The defence, I'm going to call it a trial defence, because, again, with Maguire comes back in, he goes straight into that defence for me. Partnering John Stones at the back. You've got Trippier at left back, which is just the most confusing thing, I think, for anybody, because what does that say? about Shaw and Chilwell when you've got Trippier, who's meant to be going as a right back. Southgate picks him ahead of two predominantly, well, I'm going to say in the top 5 left backs of the world, the two of them, and you've picked Trippier in front of him. It's just, what do you do if you're Shaw or Chilwell? If you continue to play, but what do you think about that? Because I'd be absolutely gutted that Trippier has played in front of me. Bearing in mind, we all talked about right backs going, and there were so many of them that he's moved them over to the left back. Chilwell not being even in the 23. Apparently, due to the balance of the squad, that's the same reason with Sancho not being in there. Villa just said no Sancho on the bench was surprising. I did read that he was signing on the dotted line for Manchester United. That's why he couldn't be there. But that might just be another little rumour going on. I was confused by the whole choice. No Sancho on the bench. And for Chilwell. The balance, I mean, it was so lopsided when Trippier was playing on the left. He's so right-footed. That's what you get. If you're going to play a right-footed player on the left, he's not going to overlap because he's not going to want to get to the byline and swing it in with his left. He's going to want the setbacks. I don't feel like our fullbacks were very attacking-minded today anyway. I did think that they both kind of protected their defensive duties more. Perhaps that was the game plan because it's Croatia, because we know what they can do on the attack, because of the players that they've got. Thinking back to the World Cup, obviously we don't want to repeat that. So, yeah, perhaps Gareth Southgate thought that because this is probably our toughest competition in the group, we'll go a little bit defensive-mindedly in terms of our fullbacks not bombing on and leaving gaps. Let's see what everyone's saying in the chat. I've noticed it's first time, in 10 attempts that we've won. So it's nice to get off on the front foot, isn't it? It's nice to have a goal to celebrate. Could have been more with Foden in the first 5 minutes. I was up, I was cheering. The same with Harry Kane. I was up and cheering, and I had to sit back down and got shushed. The back post for Harry Kane. Foden, though, I thought that's it. The hairstyle has done him. Paul Gascoigne, eat your heart out. Here comes Phil Foden. Good gossip. I was really gutted when Foden hit the post. I really wanted him to score, but I'm very happy Sterling got the goal to win us the game. I am extremely happy for Sterling because everyone likes an underdog, don't they? And I think with Sterling, he's got so much hate recently, and in terms of his performances, they have not been up there for Man City. He's not been on the pitch as much as he probably would have liked to have been, not been first choice. But he shows up, and he showed up today, and he grabbed himself a goal. I haven't read actually too much about this. Apparently a fan fell from the stands, now in hospital, was in a critical condition. I don't know anything else actually on it. I only read the headline. So if anyone has any updates to let us know if they're okay, put them in the comments. You've got the Curtis talked about the French and the Belgians. Looking forward to seeing the French team because they obviously are favourites. What are they going to bring to the table? Belgium last night with the 3-0 win, convincing win over Russia as well. Looking forward to seeing Spain and obviously Portugal and Germany. So there's some big hitters still left to even play their first round and make their mark in the tournament so far. I'm still reading through, sorry, trying to catch back up because I've scrolled up now here. Let's talk about, I've seen a couple here. Ian talks about Phillips and Mings. And I love the Villa. Mings even surprised me with how solid he is. Our defence was solid, that Croatia barely created anything. It was a bit of a trial defence, wasn't it? And like I said, I think Maguire does come back into that role. Mings probably drops out for me because I think Maguire and Stones are our two that start, our strongest pair in the middle if we're going to go for a 4 at the back. But I do think that they did okay today. Mings solid. Don't think they overly had too much to do, and it's very similar with what I've wrote down for Rice because I've seen some comments on Rice about why is he worth that amount of money, and for me, because he had a quiet game, but I think he did what he needed to do, which was secure up defensively so that Phillips in front of him, or to the side of him, should I say, and Mount to the side of him, can go and have that almost free role and go forwards and be involved in the attacking plays, whilst Rice just sits there and tidies up. Kante obviously is an exceptional player for France and for Chelsea when he plays that number 4 role. And I think everybody wants a Kante in the team, but he's so exceptional. He's almost like the Messi and Ronaldo of the defensive midfielders, because they're on a different level. And I feel like Kante's on a different level because he does so well in that position. But Rice secures up. He did exactly what he was intending to do in that job role. So I think for me, because everyone's slapped an 80 million price tag on him, that they expect a hat trick of assists, a somersault to celebrate as well. Who knows? But I think he did all right. I think that we kept Croatia quiet. So our defence, and Rice included in that, and with Pickford, they didn't need to be outstanding because there was no situations for them to be outstanding in. You can't just be outstanding. You almost have to be in that situation, and for defenders that's very difficult. You're outstanding if your team is rubbish and you keep being attacked upon and you keep blocking everything. But if your team is playing well and you're progressing forward, you will never be outstanding in defence, because you won't have anything to do. Does that make sense? I might be waffling to a lot of you, but for me that makes very much sense in my head. So who knows if that makes sense to you? Pickford didn't do much. He didn't need to do, did he? Kyle Walker did give the ball away a couple of times just needlessly, which I did pick up on, which annoyed me because he didn't need to. I'm just having a quick look through. Shivan, Rice protects the back 4 well. I think he did all right. Rice. I hope you. I have had a lovely day. Thank you to hear. We got the England win, and I just want to say, I don't know if Josh is still in the chat. Obviously, hi Josh. Congratulations on winning the league this morning. So my husband won the league with his football team. So huge congratulations to the Woolpack guys for winning the league. For a lot of leagues obviously got curtailed and ended. Theirs continued, and they went on and won the league this morning. So congratulations to them. So I've had a good day all in all, haven't I? Husband that's won the league and England have gone on and won. So that'll be all right. The big test for Southgate will be when Southgate has to pick what he thinks is his best side. It's okay to rotate when you win. When you don't, the pressure comes. I've actually wrote down after this, there are so many unanswered questions for me. One of them being, what is our best 11? I don't think Southgate even knows what the best 11 is yet. That concerns me for when we have to go on and play the other teams. When are we going to know who we really want, who we expect to be playing? Because 3 points, I think, will get you through to the next round. And when you start getting to those knockout rounds, if you're going to start rotating in them, you only get the one chance. And you need to know what you're going to be playing, who you're going to be playing in terms of Grealish, Mount, Foden, Sancho, Rashford, Sterling, Kane, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phillips, Bellingham. I love the fact that there's so much competition. It's great. It's so good to be supporting a country that have got so many good attacking options. But I also feel like we need to kind of find out our best in terms of how do we get not just our best 11, but best out of each of those individual players. Who do they work well with? Because when we go on, and if we do go on and top this group, which I feel like we probably will now after beating Croatia, I do think, like I said, they are our strongest competition in the group. We are going to come up probably against France, Portugal or Germany. No disrespect to Hungary, but I think that we will probably come up against one of the other three. And how do we go about beating one of those teams? Because it's okay doing it against Croatia, but when we come up against potentially France, favourites for the tournament, who are we going to play? Well, who is our best 11? And when you've got Sancho not even in the 23, these guys are going to need minutes. Sterling, great for confidence today to grab a goal, but we need to know who's going to start. So there's a lot of questions. Another one, what team next in terms of when we go to this game in Scotland? Like I said, it's a big game, but more so for the fact of it's such a huge occasion, not just for the competition, but the home country, our neighbouring. We've got playing against somebody that we border with. What are we going to do? What team are we going to select so that we can keep our heads? Because I think it'll be a great game of football to watch. I think it'll be great for the Euros in general, but it's great to have England versus Scotland in a major tournament. It would have been great for England versus Wales or Scotland versus Wales in a major tournament as well. I'm going to go fly through some of the comments. Kyle Walker looks shaky today, surprisingly. Completely agree. Sterling was more threatening than Foden. Does Southgate not know what a left back is? Apparently not. One not even in the 23, one on the bench. I'm not sure how they must feel having a right-footed player playing on the left back instead of them. I feel like if Southgate had a choice between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Grealish on the bench, he'd put TAA. I don't think he's even got a choice, has he? But Grealish can't buy a minute today. Listen, the reason that they gave was to do with the balance of the team. My reason is that he signed on the dotted line for Manchester United. I might be true. Who knows? I think the best 11 is today's lineup with Mings out for Maguire and Shaw in for Trippier. Interesting. So no Grealish, Ian, in your best 11. Well, I wouldn't right now. Not in the middle of a tournament. Not sacking him in the middle of the tournament. No. Listen, we'll answer that question at the end of it. They'll see how far we get. If we win, we're not going to sack him, are we? If we top the group, we either get France, Portugal, or Germany. Are you scared? Slightly. Would I prefer to meet one of these in the final? Yes. And I think I was talking to a friend today, and they said they prefer to meet him in a round of 16 because he'd rather be disappointed in a round of 16 than he would be disappointed in the final. I want to meet them in the final. I want England to obviously go as far as we can. And when it is the final, then so much surrounding it and the pressure that comes with it, it's anyone's game. I would prefer to meet one of these three there than meet them in the round of 16 and get sent out that way. Let me know. Where would you want to meet them? Final or round of 16? We should put our best team out against Scotland. Let's see. Fantastic feeling knowing that we have players like Sancho, Bellingham, Grealish, Chilwell, or Shaw who can help us get goals or help us hold on coming on off the bench. Chris Morton, thank you so much for the super chat, Chris. Hi there. How are you after today's performance? Do you think we might win? I want Grealish on, though he thought he created lots. If you think, do I think we might win the whole tournament? I'm hopeful. I'm not going to be thinking that we're going to win. And Chris, again, thank you so much, Chris. I've been watching him for 40 years. I like the look of this team. I just worry about Southgate. I think this is probably one of the best teams in terms of the whole 26 that we've had for a while. I like the balance. There's some young players in there that play without fear. There's some older heads in there, more senior players that kind of bring almost like a calmness to the situation. I feel like they're kind of the players that would allow the young players to go and play with fear, but without fear, but then to bring them back down to reality a little bit and ensure that they don't lose their heads during the tournament. Listen, Southgate's the man at the moment. and I'm fully behind him and his choices that he makes. They do confuse the hell out of me when you play a right back at left back, but we did go out and get the win. So I feel like you can't complain too much about it. You know that he's defensive minded. You can tell by the way that he has played managed over the years with England. I think everyone, going back to the first super chat, Chris, that everyone wanted Grealish at half time. Southgate stuck with his guns and kept Sterling on the pitch, and he went and bagged a goal. For that, you have to give credit to Southgate for being bold and brave enough to say, actually, Sterling's going to play, and I believe in him to go and get the goal. Would I have liked to see Grealish afterwards? Yes, I would have. But do I think that he will then come on in the Scotland game, potentially start the Scotland game? I do think that will happen as well. So there is plenty of opportunity for Grealish to be involved during the Euros and grab an opportunity and stick with him. So, but there's so much competition for these places that whoever Southgate leaves out, someone's going to argue the case, aren't they? You know, Sterling's gone and scored today. Do you leave him out the next game? He's just gone and scored. So, there's always going to be an argument for Sterling to start, for Rashford to start, Grealish. Whoever it is, there will always be an argument. Someone arguing for them to start, someone arguing for them to be on the bench, or not even on the bench at all. I'm going to just fly through some comments and then wrap it up so we can catch the last of the Netherlands game. Is it still 0-0 in that game? The team celebrations were special. All the team going crazy, fantastic. Loved that they ran over to the subs as well. It was so good. And I also want to big up someone scored for Austrian, and I don't know the name of the player, but went and held up a shirt with Christian Eriksen. Thoughts are still with him. He is obviously stable now. The tests have come back apparently clear. No idea, obviously, how that happens. Heartbreaking to watch on the telly. And it must have been even more heartbreaking for the players and the fans that were in that stadium. It's still surreal talking about it, isn't it? But all thoughts and prayers are with Christian Eriksen, and I fully hope that he recovers quickly and to the best health that he can be in, because just all eyes were on him, weren't they? And I just think incredible scenes and quick thinking from all the players and the medical staff that were there to keep him alive, to just keep him alive. And I think some things are bigger than football. And all of a sudden it kind of got put into perspective last night, didn't it? So it's hard to talk about because I still think just crazy how it happens, and for everyone to see. But just glad that he's on the mend already. Someone said they were speechless watching it. Siobhan speechless about watching it. A couple of people mentioned Lukaku, about his celebration and about his man of the match performance. Ian put, it's not so much about starting 11, it's about having players to come on and replace those players without it being a drama. The quality of the squad is more important than the quality of 11. What a great statement. The quality of the squad is more important than the quality of the 11. Everyone plays a part. And that squad is the whole 26 for me, not just the 23 that get picked for that game. They're obviously all in training together. They've got to push and work hard with each other. I think we've got a really good 26. I really do. But how we play and how we kind of perform when it comes to the bigger games, it'd be interesting to see. I think when we come when we come upon a real test, when we get to the round of 16, when the pressure mounts, it's a one-off game, you win, you go through, that's when we'll start seeing how well balanced we are as a squad, how we can adapt to things that go wrong, and how, if we are losing, can we come back from that? I'm really sorry if you just heard my phone go off. There must be a group chat. I apologise. Thank you very much. What's happened to Soph? Soph just couldn't be with us tonight. Something's going on, so she dashed off. But we're still here. We're still on Euros Vision. Like I said, there is some news coming about the channel coming out tomorrow. So make sure you're following Soph on Twitter, myself at Meg and Cam with an underscore. You can find Soph's off mine because I don't want to give you the wrong name. And Ladies in Red, you can follow us on Twitter on there. And I'm going to wrap it up. I'm off to watch the rest of the football. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for the support again for the 15k. It means so much to myself, to Sophie, to Nicole, Emma, and Zara that have been on the channel as well. The guests that we've had on. Thank you so much for everyone's support. It really does mean a lot to us. We're heading to 1 million views. We're getting there. That's our next milestone. So if you want to be involved, just keep streaming the shows, catch up on the ones that you've missed up on, and we'll see you in the next one. I can't give you the date, but I think it'll be soon. It'll be this week before the England game. And enjoy the rest of your, well, there's not much left of it, but enjoy the rest of the weekend. And we'll see you in the week.